and has probably changed less over the centuries than any other inhabited place.
So far, there are sections scheduled for Wednesday at 4 o'clock and Friday at 10:30. We'll probably have 2 other sections.
The past year and a half, we have done extensive work on the Ethiopian.
Long-tail content means that this key role will only grow in importance. Do we still experience our archives full of stuffy old...
For nearly 2,000 years, the story seemed finished. A stone rolled away, a tomb stood empty, a handful of stunned witnesses, a few quiet words, and then ascension. That is the resurrection most of the world was taught: brief, tidy, complete. But high in the mountains of northern Ethiopia, in monasteries carved into cliff faces and hidden behind centuries of silence, a different account was never lost. It was simply never widely shown. Now, translated portions of an old Ethiopian text, long known to specialists but rarely seen by the public, are circulating online, and the reaction has been anything but quiet. Viewers are calling it strange, unsettling. Some are calling it dangerous. Because this version does not end at the tomb, it lingers there. It describes 40 days that most modern readers have never been told about. Days filled, according to the text, with warning, instruction, and a description of the human condition that feels less like ancient comfort and more like an ancient diagnosis. Is this a genuine window into an overlooked corner of early Christian tradition? Or is it a centuries-old work of theology being repackaged today as a hidden secret, dressed up for an audience hungry for conspiracy? The text is real. The monastery is real. The question of what it actually means, and why so few outside Ethiopia have ever heard of it, is where the real mystery begins. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church maintains one of the oldest continuous Christian traditions in the world, with roots reaching back to the 4th century AD, when Christianity was adopted as the religion of the Kingdom of Axum. The Ethiopian biblical canon is broader than the Protestant or Catholic canons used in the West. It includes works such as the Book of Enoch and the Book of Jubilees, texts that were excluded from most Western Bibles, but preserved and read as scripture in Ethiopia for over 1,000 years. Among the texts held within this wider Ethiopian canon is a work often referred to as the Mashafa Kidan, or Book of the Covenant. It is a real, documented text within Ethiopian Christian literature, existing in manuscript form in Ge'ez, the liturgical language of the Ethiopian Church. Portions of it deal with teachings attributed to the risen Christ during the period following the resurrection. Scholars of Ge'ez literature generally date the compilation of texts like the Mashafa Kidan to the medieval period, though they may draw on much older source material and oral tradition. There is genuine academic debate about how much of this material reflects very early Christian tradition preserved nowhere else, versus how much reflects later theological elaboration, typical of the broader apocryphal literature tradition that flourished across the Mediterranean and Near East in the first several centuries after Christ. There is also debate about